Hey DJ, what do you know about winning game of the year bets? What do you know about that?
I don't know about winning anything at all, honestly. I don't remember the last time I've won a game.
Rate your level of disappointedness when Leonard Fournette against the Colts, rather than doing that cool thing nowadays where you fall down at the 2 yard line, when he just put his nose down at the floor and just barreled into the end zone. Essentially meaning you lost the bet and I won my game of the year. Because I can tell you my level on a scale of 1 to 10 was about a 9.8. I was doing laps around this basement, just screaming.
The problem is that didn't even affect me at that point because I had lost so many games like that already up to that I just have become numb to it. When you certain thing just keeps happening to you, and it's not just Sunday, it's Sunday at 3, it's Sunday at noon, it's Saturday all fucking day, it's Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. I'm going to put it out there. You guys should probably tell me this week. I shouldn't say this, but I've retired temporarily from actually live gambling. So you probably should take all my bets. But right now, I have no live bullets. I'm not actually putting money on these games, which I say I always do. I do. This time, I'm not because I need to step away. I'm being responsible.
I was going to get to that, but I will kind of go back into that here in a second. But since I won my game of the year, I upgraded from Busch Light. I'm drinking a little fancier beer tonight. Ooh. So since I've got extra beer money, let's just get loaded because this is the Loaded Box Podcast.
Where we never finish first because we finish last.
Welcome back to the Loaded Box Podcast. I am Ben Morgan. I'm happy as shit. That's DJ Primo. As he alluded to, I wanted to ask him about this, but you're looking at me and DJ the last 2 weeks against the spread at NFL betting from the podcast, 7-2 plus 3.3 units. And
I was like that the first 3 weeks.
Here's the deal. I don't want to live in the past. I want to live in the now with my fancy beer. You're still going to be here. You're making your best picks for the podcast.
There's no promises I don't bet on Sunday.
You're publicly retiring for the time being. I have a feeling. So we're recording this Wednesday. You're gambling at the latest on Monday Night Football.
We'll see.
What do you mean?
No, if I make it to Monday night, I will not bet on Monday night.
That might be the best thing you can do. If you take off all week and put all of your eggs in the Monday night basket and be like, okay, well, if I lose, I'm out this much. If I win, bang, I can't even lose it because I already done for the week.
See, I'm going to make a payment, so I will be good for a little bit. But I want to keep sitting and waiting, but I'll know that I have a little leeway in there because I've made some so I can do it. But my biggest challenge, it won't be Sunday, I don't think. If I make it through Saturday with the conference championship, conference championship games, then I've made it through the weekend.
I love it that I'm just on cloud 9 over here. 4-1 last week, won my game of the year. Didn't really deserve to win my game of the year, but hey, the money spends the same whether you won the bet by $1 million or if you barely won it. And you're out here making payment plans with your bookie.
I just needed to be. It's not even payment plans. I have the money. It's got to be secretive. I literally over the last month may be the worst gambler in the history of gambling, and that's such a sad thing to realize when you're on such a bad streak that you're so down in the dumps, and you're like, "Am I the worst gambler?" I'm at the point where. And I can't do it now because if I did come back, I would probably be hot again. But I was at the point where I should just I was thinking to myself, as I was about to enter my bets, before I hit submit, should I flip them?
Been there. We've all been there.
I would have been I would have been 7-0 on Saturday to start the day. To tell you how my day went. Yeah.
Oh, that's so depressing.
And the thing I did the math on our ass kicked.
I did the math on our year-to-dates, and I always if you the old saying is if you can hit 53% of your bets, you're going to make some money at least. I'm up to 59. I always set the goal of trying to hit 60. I'm just trying to ride the wave here. 7-2 the last 2 weeks. And guess what? Before we get into these picks for week 13, I'm with you. I'm a big believer that the math always ends up equaling out. And I was like, you know what? DJ's retiring. He's taking the week off. He usually has about 5 or 6 games. I'm going to bet all of them and probably lose 1. And then I saw what some of your picks are, and you're going against me. So now I'm just my head's being pulled both ways. I'm like, well, is DJ cold and he's going to stay cold and I'm going to win? Or is that math going to work in your favor and I'm due to lose. I feel
not
like I should
betting
go
them.
against it.
I'm not betting them, so I don't care what happens. You know what? I hope for your guys' sake they win, but if they lose, whatever. I don't care. I got to get this cold streak out of me. So I'm just gonna throw some bets out there, go against what I normally think, and see what happens. Throwing shit at the wall and seeing if it sticks.
See what sticks. Well, let's see if that Roethlisberger shit sticks, because your first one here, this one surprises me. You keep clinging a little bit to the Steelers here.
No, it's not clinging to the Steelers.
What is it then? What are you doing here?
I'm fading the Ravens at this point.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they should have covered. They shouldn't have won the other night. If Baker Mayfield wasn't
4 interceptions.
how is Baker Mayfield still allowed to play football? Like
Especially when they looked effective with I'm drawing a blank on his
Case
name.
Keenum. I've been saying for the
Keenum,
last 4 weeks that he is right now the better quarterback and the better quarterback of this team. I think they would have won a couple of these games if he was playing.
Is he hanging on just for the sole fact, like he's probably too hurt to play, but is he hanging on just to be like, I'm the next in line for the payday. I've got to prove myself.
Or like that, or like just Case Keenum outplays him and like
Keep my job.
he's gone and they're not. No matter what, they're not. He's not getting a big contract. You can't give him a big. I don't even know if you're going to get him. I don't know if you can extend him. I don't know how you do it at this point.
Yeah.
But I like the Steelers defense, and the Ravens are very bad against the blitz, and the Steelers can just get after you. They can get after
And they're
you.
getting healthy again too.
And they're getting
Healthier,
healthy.
I should
Did
say.
Watt just come off of COVID or go on COVID though?
Oh, I thought he came back from COVID. Maybe I read that wrong.
Maybe he came back from it. I can't remember. I
can
think he
look it
just
up.
came back from it. But like I'm just relying on the fact that the Ravens can't score, and Big Ben's kind of like an every other game guy because 2 games ago he dropped, 4 touchdown passes and a bunch of yards, and then last week he was, he threw about as many interceptions as Lamar Jackson. He was just trash. He was a trash bag against the Bengals, throwing pick sixes and shit. So I'm going back to the aggression. You give me a home dog, Steelers off the loss. Lamar Jackson's been terrible, against the blitz. He's just not that good. I love being on this like roller coaster ride where I'm always on the Lamar thing because like he'll play like a decent game and everybody will be so high. But I don't remember the last time he played a really good game where I was like, because I have him in fantasy football and he hasn't put up like any points.
He doesn't have a rushing touchdown since week 2.
Yeah, I mean that's
why you're drafting him in fantasy,
right? And that's being eliminated from his game. And that's what he does.
Yeah, Watt came back last week in that game against the Bengals, and then on Monday, I believe it was, he got put on the COVID list.
Okay, I thought he was. Okay,
Yep.
I didn't know if I saw that right. There's so many people seem like they're being put on the COVID list again. I can't. I think the whole Cowboys team was.
The Cowboys one is interesting to me. Like on Monday, it was, Amari Cooper is still having side effects. He's not going to play. And then today was like, he's playing.
Yeah. Is he playing though? Is that, or they just said he's practicing? He's riding the plane.
The beautiful thing about that though is like for fantasy purposes, that's the Thursday game. So if you're like, you're going to know whether or not
I hope he doesn't play because I have CeeDee Lamb and I need to have big weeks this week for playoff matchup purposes.
Yeah, Lamb can eat with Cooper there.
No, I'd just rather not have Cooper.
Fair enough. What are you putting on that 1.5?
I got 0.5 units. I'm going fairly high units in every game. I need to make it back. And I'm like, if I'm going to do it, it's going to be while I'm not betting. Yeah, but I'll be even more mad. So it's going to be tough to watch myself win and not bet these games.
Happy but depressing all at the same time.
If I just bet $100 on the Packers every week, I would just be fine. If I bet $100 on Georgia and Packers every week, because I always bet on both teams, but I bet too much around it, I would be fine.
That's the itch. That's the fun.
That's the problem.
Let's go into this next one because we're on opposite sides. It looks like we both have a little bit different in the line by a half point. I got the Broncos plus 10. You had it at Chiefs minus 9.5. I'm just sprinkling this one. I'm doing a U. I'm going a 0.1 unit just because I like it a little bit. You are taking the Chiefs, but 0.3 units. DJ, I can lead off with where I'm going with this one because my analysis is fairly simple. Sure. This is the whole idea of it's football, it's random, it's divisional teams. They play each other close. And yeah, I know the Chiefs have looked a little bit better recently. And the Broncos, there's like 4 or 5 teams in the NFL that you cannot predict on a week-to-week basis. And I get it. The Broncos, they did their thing last week. They kind of took it to the Chargers a bit. So if history repeats itself, they're probably due for a letdown this week. But they are so random. It is a divisional game. I know it's in Kansas City. But I'm getting 10 points with the Chiefs over the last 2 years, who have been terrible as favorites. And now you're going to give me double digits? Man, it's tough to have faith in this Broncos offense.
Yeah.
But their defense is clicking. Pat Surtain is proving to everybody why he went as a top 10 pick to the Broncos
Off
after.
the guy's hands and right to him.
Yeah, he's in the spot though, right? He's in the spot, and he's been making plays all year though. I mean, it's not, you can't even deny it at this point. I'm chalking this one up to randomness. I'm chalking this one up to football. I'm chalking this one up to the Chiefs not being good as favorites, and I'm getting double digits against a Broncos team that's not good, but they're not that bad.
No, they're not good. I mean, they beat the Cowboys and they like have a down game, and then they beat the fucking.
Then they get rolled by the Eagles.
Yes, they smashed by the Eagles, and then whoever they beat, who I bet out the Chargers, was it?
Yeah.
This last week, and then now they're going up against the Chiefs. So again, it's like that up and down thing. So any big spread I've seen this year, it seems like the team, not every time, but a majority of the time, the team that's been favored by like 9-10 points has been blowing teams out. I guess I'm thinking like Tampa Bay, the Patriots, type things like that. I shouldn't say the Patriots, but Packers, things like that. So I'm just relying on the fact that the Chiefs are kind of getting back in the swing of things, and I truly know the Broncos aren't a good football team. So I'm not going to sit here and buy into the Broncos. I think I'm just predicting a blowout here. I'm only going 0.1 unit just because I'm not super confident.
You got 0.3, don't you?
Or
I'm at 0.1.
0.3 units. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do one later, I guess. But yeah, I just these big spreads have been blowouts. Like people kind of fear those and go on the other side. I'm going to just go with the flow and swallow them. There's
a lot of big spreads this week.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking like half of them being like, I think it's
big spreads.
And you like all of them, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We got another one here. That's a big spread. So you're taking my team from last week, the Bucks, -11 in Atlanta, and Atlanta can't do shit.
I don't know how the Falcons score in this fucking football game at all. Like the secondary for the Buccaneers is the worst in the league at this point. But the Falcons have nobody to throw it to. I mean, Cordero Patterson exists, but their front seven can just dominate him the entire game. So I don't think Cordero Patterson's effective in this game. If anything, I think he's going to be a disappointment in fantasy football. Big games this week, he's just going to put up 5 points or something like that because of how good their front seven is with Vita Vea and Levante David and Devin White if he plays, and all those guys. So it's like I don't know how they score, and the Buccaneers should have no issues scoring against the Falcons. I don't care that it's at Atlanta. I almost think that helps. Certain people like playing in a dome. I think Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, those type of guys enjoy that. I don't fear the 11 points at all. Like I could see this being like a 42-7-10 blowout game, like not ever in question.
So the one thing that part of my analysis last week with the Buccaneers was that if they're going to stop Jonathan Taylor, they stopped teams running game, and I didn't have faith in Carson Wentz. Right.
When they actually gave him the ball.
Unbelievable. Carson Wentz throws 3 first half touchdowns. They're up 10 points. Jonathan Taylor didn't touch the ball, I don't believe, in the third quarter until basically that last drive in the fourth quarter. Pretty much inexcusable. But in that first half, Carson Wentz, any third down, it was getting completed. They went for it on that fourth down right before half, touchdown to T.Y. Hilton. Yep. I was like, holy shit. This Buccaneers defense, if they're not playing with a lead, it is super suspect. I think you're fine because I don't see the Falcons really getting out to the lead. The Falcons don't even have the offense that the Colts have. But Jesus, after sweating that one out last week and seeing what the Buccaneers defense actually did against that team, scared the shit out of me. Every time the Colts got the ball, I didn't think they were going to stop them.
Yeah, I did. But then, if you let Carson Wentz try to do things too much, eventually he's going to do what Carson Wentz did at the end of the game and make a bunch of stupid plays.
Yep.
And I was like, are they finally going to go back to Jonathan Taylor? And then they run every fucking play that one drive, and they didn't stop him. Couldn't stop him. And I knew I had him in fantasy. I ended up losing, but I was pissed. But I knew as soon as he started getting the ball that drive, he was scoring a touchdown on that drive. Like you just knew he was scoring. I mean, no matter what. I think they threw a play action to the tight end to the 5, and I was like, he's not going to score because Jonathan Taylor's scoring on this drive. That's just how it's going to work. Like Jonathan Taylor is scoring a touchdown on this drive. Yeah. There was
I
no
don't.
chance.
I don't have the stats on this one, but it seems like once Calvin Ridley like decided that he was going to be done for a while, it was right after the Dolphins game because they beat the Dolphins and Ridley didn't have a great game, but he scored. And ever since then, the Falcons have been terrible. Like look at Kyle Pitts' numbers. He had back-to-back just monster games, and now he's on a fucking milk carton. Like,
I just don't know how they can. I don't think they can get the ball out half the time to him.
I don't think they can do that. And right now with Russell Gage being the only other like competent guy outside of like Cordero Patterson, and then you've got Pitts.
Just bracket him.
Just bracket the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because I want him to do good. I've got him in fantasy and all this shit. But dude, it's so terrible when you're limited with what you can do offensively and a team can take it away, like the Buccaneers and how veteran they are on the defensive side of the ball. I'm with you on this one. I'm not making it an official play. I almost put it into a teaser. I do actually have it in a money line parlay that we'll get to later. But yeah, kind of hard to bet on the Falcons though right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just taking the big dogs, and the Buccaneers have been a cover beast this year too.
Yeah, I got another one here that we're on opposite sides. DJ, I've got Seattle plus 3.5 versus the Niners. I'm 0.1 unit.
No.
Wait, what?
I can't believe that you're on Seattle. I just don't understand.
Numerous, almost countless reasons why I'm on Seattle here. And hold on, let me finish the setup.
I don't understand it
real quick. Give me a second.
I'm massively confused.
You've got the Niners -3. You're 0.7. That's been your money bet all year. You've got that more confident than me. I'm just kind of tickling this one. I've only got 0.1 unit on it. And also, DJ, I will say this. I've seen it 3 in most places. I saw it 3.5 at one, so I took it at the one that I saw 3.5. But before I even get into why I'm taking Seattle, if you don't have it at 3.5, buy the hook. I know you hate hearing that, but just buy the goddamn hook. DJ, same thing I said about that Chiefs-Broncos game. In division game, these ones always seem to be played tight. And I actually did a little homework on this one.
Not if you suck.
The last 5 times these teams have matched up, including one this year. Seattle, 28 to earlier this year. Don't fucking ask me specific questions. Seattle won 28-21, difference of 7. Last year, won 26-23, difference of 3. The other game last year, won 37-27, won by 10. 2 years ago, they lost the most recent one of that year, 26-25, decided by 5. And the earlier game that year, Seattle won 27-24, decided by 3. That is a 4-1 record for Seattle. And all of those games were decided by 10 points or less, with one being 7, 1-3, 1-10, 1-5, and 1-3. And I already know your comeback. This is not the same Seattle team. And I can kind of get behind that. Who looked terrible on Monday night? Who's looked terrible the last couple of weeks? Definitely Seattle. But you're going to get Russell Wilson one more week recovered. Give me a second. One more week recovered from that fucking injury. You think he's going to ignore DK Metcalf? You think he's going to have one catch for like 13 yards again this week? I don't see it happening. I know that the Niners are, I don't want to say hitting a stride, but they're looking solid. But we're talking about a game in Seattle, divisional opponents. It's always close. My sticky note has the results. It's always freaking close. Give me the 3 and the hook all day on this one.
So Russell Wilson hasn't been very good for a year. Before he was unhealthy, he hasn't been very good for about the better part of a year. He's been on the decline. And now this guy's coming back off rhythm too early, wasn't ready to play, and he looks like shit. They lost to the Washington football team, who's not a good football team at all.
They're getting better.
No, they go by the Washington football team. They are.
They might forever.
The football club. They are a bad team. They're very bad. Their defense has been one of the worst in the league all year. Their offense has Taylor Heineke at quarterback. People are getting excited about him. Seattle is not a threat. People living in this world where they think Russell Wilson's just going to bust out and be the Russell Wilson of 3 years ago are living in a false reality. It's just not. It's not going to happen. Russell Wilson is what we've seen of Russell Wilson. He doesn't throw the ball to DK Metcalf anymore. His balls are wildly inaccurate. Like, I don't understand some of his throws. They're just not getting to where they should be. He looks afraid and confused and lost. And that's not going to fix itself next week either. The Niners are a pretty solid defense. If you're struggling this bad against the Washington football team, you can't score touchdowns at all in the last 3 weeks. I'm not going to bet you. He's shown what he is, and people are going to continue to be like, well, he'll be back. He's Hall of Fame. No, he isn't. He isn't a top 12, top 15 quarterback in the NFL right now. He's going to be. They're moving on. The team's going to quit on him at this point. I really believe that. Like, I think they're going to want Geno back in. Russell is poop. Russell is trash. The Seahawks have shown what they are. The Niners shouldn't have an issue here, especially the way they're fucking rolling right now with that run game. And then that play action pass, they're on a heater. I don't think you want to bet against a team on a heater versus maybe the worst football team in the NFL right now.
You just wait till Russell dings that finger on a helmet, and then Geno has to come back in early in this game, and he leads him to a win.
That's the only chance. If that happens, then I'll be worried.
It's crazy too. Like Seattle, like I know Chris Carson's not there, and I know he's by far the best running back in that room, but they can't run.
Well,
like it's not even there.
They can't throw either.
I don't want to talk myself out of this, but even when Alex Collins caught that ball on Monday night, you could see from a mile away that thing was going to get popped out from behind. Like it was
it's great, but I just there's nothing good about Russell that I like, and I'm gonna just steer as far away from him as possible and let people who think that he's still good be on the wrong side of that, and I'm gonna be on the correct side.
All right. Well, like you said, you're obviously going all in on this one. You're 0.7 fake units because you're taking the week off from gambling outside of Monday night.
Can't do
in my opinion. I like this enough just to have a little bit of action on it. And if I can get it to 3.5, I'm going to take the 3.5. So agree to disagree. However, your next bet here, I
forgot that I was going to put the Packers minus 10.5 versus the bye on
versus,
here. I can't
versus the bye. You went with that old school joke that everyone runs with every year.
They're 10-2 against the spread. I've bet on them every week. It's a lock win. I gotta just keep it going. Let's put the Packers in there versus the bye.
You might not have this number right on hand, but maybe you've seen it randomly, so I'll throw it out there. The last year and then so far this year, you said they're 10-2 against the spread. What are they over the last year and a half? Because they have got to be hands down the best NFL team against the spread, because they didn't lose that many against the spread last year.
At one point, I remember them being like 9-3. I don't remember last year, but I know they're 10-2 now, and they're probably 20 something and
nuts.
6-ish.
Yeah, so I don't know. Throw a little on the money line, maybe
same
this
as
week
Matt
against
LaFleur's record. Yeah, and Vegas just continues to just do it wrong for them. I mean, and they should have covered and beat the Vikings too. So
that's true.
But whatever. Can't be picky.
This next one here, I actually almost added. I wussed out because of the last time that I bet on the Lions. So why don't you go ahead and tell me what you're doing on this one?
Well, this is the thing where the Vikings, it doesn't matter who they're playing. It's going to be a close game. No matter what. It's a divisional, opponent. It's going to be tight. It's not going to get out of control ever, I don't think, when Minnesota's playing in a football game. So I can imagine the Lions can stay in it, keep it lower scoring, no Delvin Cook, that type of deal. And keep this number within 7. 7's a lot of points, especially.
Probably no DeAndre Swift, though, as well.
Yeah, that sucks. There is no DeAndre Swift. That hurts me in fantasy this week really bad. But
samesies.
Again, it's just this Dan Campbell's not gonna win games, but
Campbell.
They're gonna be close, and he's gonna get fired after year 2. But they're gonna stay in games. They're gonna stay in them, but they're just never going to win. Because that first year greatness. Next year they'll probably start getting blown out in the second year. Well, I suppose I don't even expect I don't see a quarterback yet that can come in and do anything. Even it doesn't matter. There's no transcendent quarterback like Andrew Luck in next year's draft.
So and they're more than a quarterback away, anyways.
Right, but I feel like an Andrew Luck could come in and almost make it respectable. What the fuck was that? You fart?
Toots.
Fart on the loaded box. Jesus Christ.
I unloaded my fart box.
That's ridiculous. Well, I think they could just keep it close. I mean, Jamal Williams is still a solid running back. I know Alexander Madison is. So, I can't really say too many good things about the Lions, but I just don't think the Vikings blow anybody out.
No, you said that perfectly. Whatever you just said there at the end was about just all the analysis you need to give, because the Lions keep it close every damn week, except for the 1 week when I bet against them or bet on them against the Eagles. And like you said with the Vikings, I don't have the week by week up, but every single game either goes into overtime or is decided by 7 points. So if history repeats itself. You're right where you need to be with this game. But it's the whole idea of betting on the Lions, and if you lose it, you're going to be pissed because you bet on the Lions. That's what's keeping me away from this. What are you doing? Feeling old there?
It's just these flu shots.
Oh,
I haven't had one forever, and I can't move my fucking arm at all. This is bullshit.
This is funny. It's not really flu shot related, but it's related to you. Earlier today, you sent me a text about like getting a little bit on the chunkier side. I mean, you're a small, like you're a slender build guy, but you said like you were getting fat, you're getting out of shape.
Nobody can tell though if I wear clothes.
But you needed to run. You needed to get back in shape. You got a kid that's due like any minute here, so you got to be like ready to go. And then you sent me a picture of your lunch, and it was McDonald's. And then you
Diet starts tomorrow.
Then you text me tonight about what time we were going to podcast, and you were having pizza.
And I had M&Ms after I ate the McDonald's.
Now we're drinking beer.
And I had a soda, and I don't even drink pop.
It's so great. And you use the word soda and pop in the same sentence.
Yeah, I call it pop. I don't know why I said that. I hate that.
That was funny. Word. But what a great thing. I need to get back in shape. Next thing you know, you're just halfway through a quarter
pounder. Diet starts tomorrow.
Eating the whole damn pizza.
It was my cheat day before the start.
I love it. Who starts a diet on a Thursday?
Shit, it might start Monday then. Don't talk me into it.
You know any more quarter pounders you can put down by then?
Yeah, baby.
Feels so great. DJ, I've finally got my first one that I don't think you're involved in.
Oh.
I told you earlier today I was struggling with this board. I think Vegas did a great job.
3 picks. I think you're just such a big pussy. I'm like, I'm at 3.3 units. You know, you watch me bet. I'm up 3 units early in the year. I go full fucking bore the entire time. 7 games a week. I don't play scared. Scared money don't make no fucking money, all right? You play like a little bitch, now you're just leveling there. It's going to slowly whittle away. You either go 100 miles per hour or you just quit.
So you're Henry Ruggs or you're Ricky Williams?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I love the words. Like you talk with such great confidence, but if you just take it to if you peel back the layer of the onion a little bit, you realize that I am drinking.
I'm having more fun.
I'm drinking the classy beer, and you're on a payment plan.
I'm not on a payment plan. I'm loaded.
So what I do a lot of weeks like this, when I don't see a lot of straight lines against the spread that I like, I start doing some money line parlays. I start doing some teasers. So I found a teaser this week that I really like. I'm doing the Eagles. I'm bumping that thing down to just -1. They're at the Jets. And I'm taking the Chargers to bounce back here. They're in Cincinnati, but I get it at +9. 0.2 units. One, I just saw a stat before we started here. The Eagles have never lost to the Jets. Like, I feel like I just read that, and that's an amazing stat to me. Obviously, they don't play too often. I think it was only like 9 games. All they got to do is fricking win by 2 in this one. I feel pretty confident in that. And yes, they were terrible last week against the Giants. However, if you watched any of that game, you'd realize that they also should have beat the Giants. Was it Jalen Reagor that dropped that ball at the goal line?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Brutal. I'm just going to tell you right now. Whoever dropped that ball, I believe it was Reagor.
Probably Jalen Reagor. He does
just brutal. Not that it would have been very impressive, because if you score on the last play of the game, I mean, it's obviously could have went the other way just as easily. But I see a bounce back game here for the Eagles, for that offense. They got to get going. Hurts has got to establish himself, not just as a runner, but as a passer. And who better to do that against than the fucking Jets? Like that's a perfect get right game. So I like that.
Ball down their throat the entire game.
I could do that. And then the Chargers +9. I'm not even anti-Bengals in this one as much as I am pro-Chargers. Like, they're to the point where they started out so hot, and they've just been kind of on this cruise control of mediocrity where they're kind of hanging in games but not putting teams away. And they don't even need to win this one outright. They legit need to stay within like 2 scores in this game. I feel pretty confident in that. I think that we're going to have a bit of a bounce back from that offense as well. We're not going to see the Bengals score 40-some points like they scored against Pittsburgh last week. I don't say the G word. I don't say the guarantee word, but I feel pretty confident in knowing that they're not going to score in the 40s in this one. I'm not, like I said, dude, I believe in the whole statistical thing that things are going to even out. So you're right. I am fucking tucking my balls between my legs and I'm a
Yeah.
chicken this week.
And that's
I'm
what
going
I
to go
don't like about gambling.
0.2 units.
That's
0.2 units.
that's what I don't like about having a gambling podcast with you. I need somebody who's like full bore. Like we're out here, we're playing the degenerate life. We have to live the degenerate life.
I
We have to
follow
have
all of my picks though.
no, but that means nothing when it's 2 picks every fucking day. Like that's not fun. That's not exciting. We're not
Winning money
good.
is always
No,
fun.
no, no. We're not good gamblers. Just because you
I
go through
am.
no, you aren't.
I-
Just because you go through a little bit of a hot streak, we all have done it. I was
ooh.
up 3 units earlier this season because my best bets were winning. But if you only take the Packers every week, I've made you rich.
Well, maybe you should do that. Just every single week, do
No,
that.
but
We'd
if
be
you
the-
only take my Packers pick because you've seen my Packers pick every week and you know it keeps winning, then I have been very successful for people then too.
yeah, but I'm not.
I
gonna
don't remember you once betting on the Packers.
I did last week.
Probably teased them, you pussy.
No, I didn't do that, but I that's what I do when the spreads are this way. When I believe
people
that
want
Vegas
picks.
is on it. No, people want good picks.
No, they don't. They want to
They
suffer
don't.
with us because you know what? We're here to entertain, have some fun.
I
And
know,
if we
but
get
if
hot,
people
they'll
can
ride us. If
people can listen to my picks and win, and then listen to this while they're on their floor making snow angels and the money
you know,
that I've made them,
money they could be winning off my failing too by just fading me. So if anything, I might be doing better than you for them.
could be because there might
Yeah.
be just straight up haters out there that want to go opposite of you.
That's fine. That's their prerogative, and I'm proud of them for that. And you're welcome for those people who have. I've been telling people to fade me on a weekly basis here.
They'd be
I should give it
42
over.
and 31 this season.
Yeah, I'm the hottest non-gambler, faded gambler of all time. Right now.
I love it. DJ, let's go into your final one. Another one of those big favorites. What do you got here in your final pick? The Rams, huh?
Yeah, this is my lowest unit pick just because the Rams and Odell. Their offense doesn't look quite right now, and their defense is a little suspect. It seems like there's some holes, here and there where they can give up that. They're a little aggressive where they can give up the run play, the big run plays, and if Jalen Ramsey isn't covering somebody, they can hit some deep plays. Like the Packers had them. The Packers don't even have an offensive line right now, and they're throwing all over them. But they are playing against Trevor Lawrence, who throws at least an interception every game, I think. And the only semblance of a football team offensive weapon they have right now is James Robinson.
James Robinson, yeah.
If they can, if Donald can eliminate him, they can shut them out and force Trevor Lawrence to throw. It could get ugly, and it could get ugly fast, especially if he starts throwing towards, Jalen Ramsey at some point, and with Donald angry and getting in the backfield, anything can happen. He tried to choke slam a Packer last week.
That's what I would have done.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about the Eagles having a get right bounce back game against the Jets, and the same thing applies for the Rams. Though, what better team to get a fucking bounce back than at
just
home
be angry against
the Jaguars, dude? You know the last time I heard the Jaguars talked about, like in the national media, when Urban Meyer was touching that girl's booty hole.
His fingers right up her bay.
That's the last time I've heard the Jaguars even talked about, which is crazy because you think about last year, #1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence, and no one even gives a shit that he's like struggling. Like I always give the rookie quarterback the slide, especially in Jacksonville. In that situation, he gets to like skate by for a year. But dude, it's going completely unnoticed that they are inept. They don't score. They don't score anytime. They get like garbage points. That's about what they get now.
Yeah, Urban Meyer's an issue. He should just go back to college at this point because and he's trying to like throw Lawrence under the bus earlier. And
is he going to go to Notre Dame? He previously said that was his dream job.
No, I don't think so.
I don't rule anything out anymore.
Yeah. The whole college coaching carousel is one of my favorite things I've ever seen this year. I don't know if you played NCAA 14 back in the day, but there's that coaching carousel you could do, and it was always nuts. This is actually like NCAA 14 this year.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. My head's spinning. Everybody's going like Lincoln Riley. It's never been done where like one Power 5 coach goes to a big Power 5 coach goes to another big Power 5 team.
Yeah.
It happened twice.
Yeah.
Within a week, within a few days.
I love to like. It might
happen again.
I'm going to end it now. I'm not going to coach at LSU. but I'm going to go to USC.
He wasn't lying. Like, what's he thinking in the back of his mind when he says that? I will not be the coach at LSU. He's in the back of his head. He's like, but I'm fucking out of here for USC.
It's a heady play because he cut the reporter off mid-question. He goes, I'm just going to address this now. I'm not going there. He answered the question he wanted to answer.
Did you see the contract he fucking has?
Oh, yeah. It's
USC is not buying just one house of his. They're buying 2 houses that he has in Oklahoma for over $500,000 of the asking price of the house. It's unbelievable. $110 million buying him a house. Like, how is this? I need to be a college football coach.
We fucked up.
Yeah,
we had the option: college football coach or podcast. I mean, one podcast.
Not one house they're buying from him. They're buying 2 houses.
It's amazing.
And then they're buying him a house in California. Like, I'm just like, I don't understand.
Going back to your coaching carousel and video games and stuff, I'm still pissed because, like, your parents back in the day telling you not to play video games and you're wasting your time. Look at sports nowadays. Sports are played like video games. Teams are going for it on 4th down all the time. You're not punting the ball. You're doing the coaching carousel. Everything is just wild. Madden and NCAA were trendsetters, man. Those are the people now. Those are the people calling the shots, the people that grew up playing these games.
I know we're an NFL pick'em pod, but nobody goes for 4th down and 1 at his own 20 or 30-yard line and doesn't get it more than Lane Kiffin has this year. And it's the most infuriating thing as a gambler that you'll ever see, because I've never yelled punt the ball so many times in one year. Yeah. Just punt the fucking ball. Like, I don't understand. Like, they could have played close with Alabama if they punted it a couple times or kicked a couple field goals. That's it. Yeah,
not going to happen, man. Not with Lane. Not when he's been boozing at the Blue Martini in Boca. I really wanted him to go to Florida.
Well, anyways, back to the Rams-Jaguars. I am worried about the Rams, but I'm not worried about the Rams. Matt Stafford is one of the more talented quarterbacks in the NFL. People are trying to dog him a little bit, like, oh, Jared Goff, Matt Stafford. No, they're not. What? Are you watching?
Stafford will not throw a pick 6 this week.
Stafford will get to the NFC Championship game if they don't play the Packers before that. I'm calling my shot right now. If they don't play the Packers, they will get to the NFC Championship game.
They do need to turn it up because I've got a couple of season-long bets on the Rams with their over and winning divisions and shit. So I
have them and the Chargers. The Chargers have to win 5 of their next 6 games for me to hit their over.
Oh, no shit.
I think that's what it is. Is there 6 games left?
I think there's 6 games left, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. They've lost a few games here that I didn't like, but they got a tough one this week. I almost put the Chargers against Cincinnati, but I didn't want to. I just want to enjoy that game. I think that's going to be a fun game to watch.
I do too.
Burrow.
Yeah, and I think their schedule gets a little bit easier too. I remember doing that from our preseason stuff.
I looked at it, and it does get a little bit easier, but the Cincinnati game is tough, and we didn't think it was going to be tough preseason. I bet the Bengals under, and it's already over. So
no shit.
It was over like weeks ago.
At least you know.
Yeah, well, I didn't know Pittsburgh was going to be the worst, and
fucking hate Pittsburgh.
Our bet is like, not that anybody knows, but we're tied now on our bet, I think. In the rate, well, for the year, I'm still up $20 or something like that.
Yeah, so me and DJ have a bet from starting last year up until the time that Minkah Fitzpatrick leaves the Steelers. So
or Tua leaves, right?
No, it was Minkah. That was
just Minkah?
Yeah. Whoever, as soon as Minkah leaves, the bet ends, but it's total wins that the Steelers have during that time frame versus the total wins that the Dolphins have from that time frame. And whoever has more wins, it's $10 per win.
We had a hot start.
You cashed in last year. I think you won.
Oh, well, we're up 2. I was up 2 games, but we're still up at 2 games still.
Well, I paid you from last year at least.
No, you paid me for other things.
No, I paid you for the Steelers.
No, I never told you to pay me that.
I know you told me not to, and I did it anyways.
I'm pretty sure you only paid me the other bets that you
lost.
You
know me, dude. I'm the king of the receipts. I'll show
go back and look. I have it on Venmo too.
I don't want to spend a ton of time on this next one because it is my money line parlay of the week, and it is 5 teams, and we've already talked about a couple of these games. So what I need you to do is just write these teams down. We're talking money lines, no spreads involved. I've got the Cowboys. That's the Thursday night game against the Saints. I got the Buccaneers. That's against the Falcons. I have got the Colts. And DJ, this is usually where you help me out because I always sometimes forget who they play, but I remember this one. It's against the Texans.
I don't have it up, bro.
That's cool. I've got the Eagles against the Jets, and I've got the Rams against the Jaguars. So it's a heavy favorite. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. It's a heavy favorite money line parlay. It's only plus 210. I'm doing 0.2 units on it. The riskiest part of this one is the Thursday night. It's the Thursday night with the Cowboys and the Saints. But is it confirmed? Is Taysom Hill starting that game?
Yeah, well, yeah, he's starting.
Oof. I don't know if that's good or bad,
It
honestly.
can't be
But
good.
I don't foresee the Cowboys after losing that game to Atlanta. I don't think, even though this is in New Orleans, I don't see them losing this game as well. I'm not super worried about that one. That's the riskiest of all of these. So it's a fairly safe money line parlay. Your payout's not great. You can double up though. Plus 210 is not
It's a win.
terrible.
If you win, you win.
That's what I always say.
Yeah, you won't, but if you do, you do.
Thanks. DJ, it's Wednesday night. I've got a DVR Florida Gators basketball game. You
This is
apparently
perfect timing.
your Tar Heels game is it started? Is it about
10
to start?
minutes, so we're good.
Oh, perfect. Do you have anything else then that you would like to add before we send ourselves into week 13?
Friday Night Lights. I think I forgot to do it last week because
think
holidays
you
got in the
did.
way. I totally forgot about it. Completely forgot that it existed. The whole holiday thing. I don't think anybody want to watch it anyways. I'm gonna try to get a guest last second here. If not, no big deal. I'll fucking entertain the masses. But honestly, I would follow me this week because I'm not betting.
I like that you're still going to do a solo Friday Night Lines, college football, pro football,
Absolutely.
gambling segment on your own,
I'm gonna
and
do
you're not
college
even going to do
basketball.
your own picks.
I'm gonna do college basketball too. I'm gonna keep it going throughout the rest of the till March. I'm gonna do Friday Night Lights just for college basketball.
You'll do every
and
other
NFL.
week if history repeats itself. You'll go every
No.
other week.
No, yeah, well, we'll see.
All right,
I only
well, check
missed
us.
2 weeks this year.
I don't think that's
That's
accurate.
true. I totally forgot about this week, and then I missed. Well, I guess I tweeted one night, so technically I missed 3 weeks, but I tweeted one night.
Oh, and then there was that other time.
No, that's it right there.
3 might be right. It's probably closer to 7, but 3's okay.
No, not true.
Check us out on Twitter at LoadedBox. Check out our website, loadedboxpodcast.com. Everything we do can be found there. Next week, we'll be back to see if I stayed hot, to see if DJ kind of cursed himself by winning without actually winning money on his own, but we'll be doing the same thing, but for week 14. We're available everywhere. Subscribe, rate, review, unsubscribe, resubscribe, rate, and review. DJ, send us out.
Bye.